They are dating to everyone. I am Dr. Sivan, and I served in ISRO from 29th October 1982 to 14th January 2022. I superannuated as the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, whereas I started my career from a working level engineer. In this last 40 years, I see that my activities, it is really very, very, very eventful and exhausting, and really enjoy. Almost I was working that 16 to 17 hours in a day. That is the type of effective schedule they had. And first of all, I must tell that I may be one of the blessed person in this aspect. That thanks to my parents and my teachers, my mentors, and my juniors, as well as Almighty God. And in my journey, surely that I was very, very fortunate to have that the best bosses of this world, and at the same time, very, very supportive juniors. Is the unique combination only made me to perform in a better way as the retired, as the chairman. So, and before getting to that ISRO, that I just wanted to tell what makes me to take it ISRO. That I just wanted to tell you. You're busy on that. And I was signed to work with engineering after my pre-university course, but the economical conditions of my father didn't allow. Then I could join in MIT, Madras Institute of Technology, after completing my BSc with a mathematics major and auxiliary physics and statistics. And this particular institute, what the MIT, it has special characteristics. The sense at that time, not now, at that time, 1970s, that they offered courses more related to professional courses than conventional engineering, like aeronautical engineering, automobile engineering, instrument technology, production technology, like that. And when the opportunities came to me, I preferred aeronautics because that it is something like the more than what we are seeing on the ground, what we have seen. So we can imagine, yes, we could see that only the airplane only fly, I think more than that. So he had a passion to do the engineering on that. That way I joined. And after that I be there from Madras Institute of Technology, I could get a chance to get into the Institute of Science Bangalore for doing the masters. Here also that specifically I selected that the Aerospace Engineering, and after that regular subjects are over, I took the specialized subjects and the space, rocket propulsion, rocket design, and the rocket aerodynamics, and the spacecraft, then all those space related. Even my project was the trajectory optimization for PSLV. And so after my master's, then I joined the ISRO. I not found any discontinuity in my career. It's like a continuation of what I have been doing in the studies, just like that way. So now people are talking about orbits, rockets, all those things. Actually, I learned in the engineering colleges in 1977 to 82. So I did all those things. So that way, getting the select, reading and doing the studies some specific area and got exactly into that sort. I would say it's very, very that I was lucky and it was blessed. And when I uh, joined, actually that I didn't want to join the PSLV project. I thought people are telling that project is only coordination and this type of thing. So you will be wasted. And then we joined the PSLV project, but could not join in the system development that the NVT. But finally that I got into the PSLV project and start board. And actually that if I would have joined either or the other way development agency, I'm not sure that whether I would have raised the chairman level. And the one peculiar thing that I had throughout my career is whatever I want, I never got. I got something different from what I want. Finally, that I found that at the end of the day, whatever I got was better than whatever I want. It reminds me that the Dalai Lama statement is sometimes what you are not getting what you want is a what to struggle up. I have a living example for that. So I joined with the PSNV project, and in that work, I have multiple work I was doing. One is coordination, another is the project management. But I never kept in there. I started developing some extra. That is all. That is that. I never stopped my activities to project coordination or leave it done. Right? I was doing more than that. I developed certain very, very critical technologies, which is getting into the USD project. So, like that, I started my career in the grassroots level of developing something, and same time, I got the known that the levels like that the project that for the section head, division head, group director, deputy director, and even administrative roles like controller, chief controller of the Aeronautical Engineering Space Centre, and then that chairman so and that secretary department. That means whatever post available in India in ISRO, I could get the opportunity to work with all these areas as the different is the most important. And during this process, there's a lot of things we have done. That is like a lot of innovation, design optimization, there are robustness, the ease realization, and project management, administrative management, and at the same time that running the project, and then running the center, and running the whole district system. All activities are taken. And in this thing, a lot of that places need in that in the and they thought as a innovation is all about robustness is all about and same time certain places that a lot of failures are there and how to face the failure and learn from the failure. That was the most important lesson I learned throughout my career. And how to take a bold decision, which really gave a big push for the ISRO space program. So, like all the areas, like as a join as an ordinary engineer to the leadership level, many places I had. I would like to share some of the anecdotes in the here. See, when I joined in this PSLV project, actually each person used to do only one work thing. Actually, I was doing something like the 5 works simultaneous, not simultaneous, the same day. That is what is that project coordination, means attending meeting, means citing, use the input data to develop an agencies. That is one part. And second part, here is working on the design aspects of that GSLV. And the third one is that is I was apparently I was developing a software called the Sivan. Many places you may be aware this particular software name. It is software for integrated project analysis with real-time applications. Even today, that software only was what validation of all that ISRO's launched lately in the autonomous mode, digital mode, or in the real-time mode. That is the way. That way, I could see that, yep, small content question I could do. That is being used as a part of the ISRO's program. But along with that, I was working on the predictive optimization program called the POST program to optimize simulated things. It's actually it was a NASA program we got, and I was executing, and I put that huge amount of data just in front of me. Then I told that I'm doing multiple tasks. When I was working for his BSNV or for aspect, I was working for GSLV and GSLV Mark 3 as well simultaneously. So my parent was free. That morning, that the 8:30 to 12 o'clock one activities, that something like 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock another activity, 3 o'clock to his activity. Then from that to night, then the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock third activity, and the development of my software is done in the night from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock at night. And the next day, that will be connected to the software. This type of the multiple work I was doing. And this, what type of innovations? I can share some of the things. Like when we had that all of the away, after vehicle is assembled on the launch pad, we always look for that favorable weather for launching the rocket. Always, this had a lot of difficulties on our operation system. Yeah, after everything is filled and proper in its field, and keeping the vehicle on the pad is like keeping a bomb in our house. So it's not correct to do for them. So initially I introduced that there was called the wing bias. And later they introduced that I introduced a new system called they have launched the wing bias. That is just that 1 hour before launch, measure the need, and using that wind for design that the next week, and the part of that making change as per that wind pattern, vehicle has to travel that design, and based on the design, the guidance will be due, and based on the guidance, using numbers will be checked if that the system with real the simulation real system, then only it is configured, and then that data will be loaded into that rocket T minus 3 minutes. So just imagine that even one this type of activities in normally it happen in about the 3 to 4 months. But this 4 months activity, is it possible to compress like this? I said it's possible. Why you cannot? In innovative way. They are that designers have had not a problem. They're questioning how it's possible. Then I asked, who is deciding? What he is fighting? He's also a human being. what the designer, what he is trying to, then what he is doing, we please convert into the software. So software can do faster than think this one. Then we put a series of test computer. The whole activity otherwise was taking the 3 months or 4 months. It is be completed in 5 minutes. And this was a major and this techniques was not there anywhere. They are always waiting for whether to the calm down. But we have any worry, any wind, any weapon. But of course, other parameters like this, that these lightning, all those are there. But because in the first part to wind, there's no board. Any time when he can. Is one major quantum jump behind. And I have to have that. I'm the one person, I cannot keep quiet. That is the problem. And in that keeping quiet, that if I'm keeping quiet, I become that my strength will be lost. That my weight will be taking, see. So I was not, brother, I used to do that, the guidance, see, that close guidance, which I find out to say. This type of thing that I really demanded. And I could say that why I specifically I talk about PSLV. I would say that the PSLV and myself, we had peace. The PSLV was not approved. Almost the same time, I joined in the PSLV project. So, right from the beginning, I could involve in the project, and I could understood totally the intrinsic the details of the rocket, the analysis, isn't validation, integration, and all those things we have I could contribute. And another very interesting thing I want to tell you, and whether people will be liking or not, but still I want to tell you. In fact, that I had an opportunity to go to NASA. The work there was a part of the Rajiv Vegan Fellowship program. My brother I had recalled me. Yes, Sivan, you are selected. Now I use 2 options. Having worked in this BSLE for this many years, and maybe other one not BSLE will launching. Whether you wanted to see the vehicle launch, or whether you want to move to NASA. I said, I'm not interested about NASA. I want to see the BSLE launch. That type of attachment was there. In fact, that people are telling that, but I got late married. People are telling that Sivan has had an event, even married only after success of the PSA. Then they're telling. As this happened after this one, that is the first mission in 1993. It was we could not achieve. And then the next mission, that 1994, we achieved we could achieve the successfully. And my marriage was happened in 15 days after the launch. That day, what are people told also, it proves the only by this one day. And this another thing is that I would like to tell. Some of that after that PSLV, that the first make the year, that the management was hold that even though we had a good system, but we didn't have really that the simulation system is not there. And we have this, the videos have happened, it let have some stupid error. If the proper simulation step or error could have been avoided. That way, that they found there that a new group simulation that the MSSG. I have been selected there as the MSSG, and we built a world-class simulation facility. I built, but I can say that I built the support of that people like Dr. Suresh and organization by them. And in fact, that by seeing that infrastructure, that the ones that are Russian, we have other type that interactions with the Russians team on that gradually upper stage. the inspection. And once they brought them there, and they were surprised. Then they think, is what facility are able to do it? And how many people are on? Then I said that I was given, we are very proud to tell that 30 people are okay. Then here, but this much facility, that only 30 people there. We need around 300 people for this facility to run and work. And then I said, that's not the Indian way of doing it. What our 300 people are doing can be done by 30 people. But we are not leaving anything. That is one thing that we have done. And a very interesting that factor was there, that PSLV. And but I used to be very adamant person. I am with him like that very soft, but adamant, not useless. With the technique, that is what they are saying is that after PSLV, we won't failure. And then analysis, where and what really happened. And if I had all the data, that I could do the entire analysis within from morning 10:30 to evening 6:30, you can work what really happened. And then back time and the other teams were presenting. And then the director was taken to review what really happened. Then the discussion was going one direction. And one senior boss was really presenting. Then I was not able to contain myself. I suddenly stood up and told them, sir, what are Saturday is wrong. The whole the senior member here, they're stunned. Then they told, okay, what's the part of a few seconds, right? Then they told, okay, we give opportunity for you. Then we come. And then he presented, and it was appreciated. And this is the beauty of the ISRO system, the transparency and safety. The doing most person can foresee Chairman. That is that thing. But interestingly, that the person I was talking against me only took me, and he said God of me, well, that's not my idea. That is the beauty of the data. So the transparent system, that is not good. It's nothing but the insulation. I can say that man, there is nothing wrong. And that is type of system you have. Another one that is like another incident I can tell is that is when the mission is defined, and we used to take for every stage operation, there's a window in and window out. So during that time, they're expecting that is to happen. And in one flight, I was working out and I was giving that in one of the flight, that PSLV C1 flight. I was working out to the window out of the PS4 operation is there for 24 seconds. The proportion into tomorrow, that is too much there. In fact, I need to wait into that 430 and it has to only 4.7 seconds. More than that, the stage unit blast. I said nothing to it. That I was warned now that I'm doing that one. Finally, it was accepted. In that particular flight, there was a problem during that countdown. There was a pressure reduction at PS4 that first was in this, and because that 424 seconds was there, the mission was exceeded. It was the 427, the mission would not pay and come to the end there. It's a type of I think that the minor thing that they are taking. In that mission, that the Honorable Prime Minister Vajpayee, he was there. This one. That way we are taking. That is every number, every result is very, very very critical And we need to understand the impact of that. That is the more on the design. And after that, what we did was that I have many stories, but the positive time I can come back to that. Then we have that shifted to the simulation facility, and we are me doing all the type of simulations, and which is like simulation mean that the what will be not like a simply a computer simulation, but it's with a real electronics package, actually his software, everything with that. It is you call it build, it's run. Simulation is like is one flight. Like that we could do 1,500 times that is equal to 1,500 times the flight that yes, on the flight data. That way that we could see it. And then once we are there, that one and the GSLV activity, then I got it group that GSLV activity as a part of the GSLV was coming up. And you are aware when the rate was lifting up, the first the liquid engines will be ignited and it can stay naked. But after confirming the performance of the incubators, then only that we ignite the solid, then that will take the negative off. So there was logic put there to they have opportunity to check them. The liquid engines are perfectly what they are not. Then I told them, yes, there should be a lower bowl, there should be upper bowl. Then when we have put the lower bowl, then the first mission, there was the first was the less than expected. This one, the it was filled up because of that logic there. And same thing, people are bringing this to upper bowl. Then I don't want the problem of the bird. Need not get energy from where you get energy. So don't bother about it. Unfortunately, in another mission, that was crossed upper, that was a large wagon, and we could see the weight is lifting up, then take the unfighted. Subsequently, you put that one. So that each number is very crucial. Our important point that I want on the GSLV is the result that we were the Creationist upper state, which was supplied by the Russian. And the first flight, by seeing the data, I told that is the performance of the career stay is the specific burst gauge second less than nominal. Nobody surprised there. The later, the Russians were telling, see, I am I only supplied the engine. Engine is mine. Where is this person? How can you tell that? Then I told them, you may be the engine person, but this is the way your engine has performed. When I said that. Finally, after all this has happened within 1 hour, but after all analyzed, after 3 months, they told that the engine was operated and that's already yes. These and these we had a lot of that dramas were there. In the one specialty between the PSLV and the GSLV was in the PSLV that the first mission itself, all the issues in this lately must come out. In the GSLV, that we are unfortunately that it has come in every flight over one flight. Yes, that way that we had at one point of time that we said that whatever change the software, small change or one line code change, so that we can under failure conditions after it will take. Then the designers was fun again. They are very method that Sivan is the mad. That thing this one. The designers used to the what happened is that we used to have the friendship fighting, and the designers will come with a plot, which is plotted with a very large range thing. I used to plot with a very small range, so small difference means force had been this one. That way, that that our friendship fighting used to be there. And you look up that one line change that's out there. The next weekend, that the performance of the rig was the good performance, which the state was not there, you know, they. That then we saved the mission also. So, like that, and many places, that is, I can say that I contributed a few demo, and we contributed. Another thing is that along with that, we started working on that GSLV, that Murphy, that configurations also. And we defined that configuration, and with that offer, we have contributed. Then after the submarine, then they had taken me as a project director in reusable launch vehicle, technological launch vehicle. Then I that contributed and define the total configuration and define the system very clearly, and then all those things we did it. And then subsequently, and I was I had a chance to work as a deputy director as the aeronautical and structures engineering along with the reusable water. But then I was very happy. Yes, at last I settled to my area. Unfortunately, that at that time when GSLV MGO6 is a failed, it's a fourth consecutive failure of the GSA. It is a fourth failure. It is a fail. It was a tricky failure, and finally that as a aerodynamics, the aerodynamics stability and the structure stability, and people identified the reason, the thing that we got the paying visual cost for that failure almost that I was enjoying that, and the one day I was attending a recruitment then the board meeting, and they're calling. They called from the director office. Say director is that they're calling, and I said I come during lunchtime. Well, no, come immediately. That means right in bad blood. So I immediately went there. Then the director told them, we are putting you at the GSD project director, and I said, sir, I am very happy with this one, that one. No, but I have time to fight. Not yet taken the suitcase at the beginning. I left out that. When I was trying to gear rather than nothing was on, these people, their plan says that they would be in the black, the DSLE as a day. And actually it was a very disturbed period for me. That why they are putting like that is all my friends or seniors are calling and telling that whether we have to say condolence to you or congratulate. I said, please don't bear. If this congratulate me, I will try to that I will make it right. Then my wife, then the chairman called me here, and then he told you that. I said, sir, you did not explain. You are asking me to do. I am doing. But whatever okay me, I will take it then. Then I really did, and I was like upset then. Then my wife was asking why you were upset then. Then that I was telling then one story that in the you wanted Tamil people are rather on India that he lost all his money, and Manan he to put movie called the Not Only Manan, that is nomadic. And he said that in this movie's success, that he closed the nomad and thought I is the king. Yeah. If the movie is the failure, then he goes the king and he tried in job nomad. And I told that the GSI magic success, I become a famous. If it is failed, I wish in my time for only that. But we have taken a lot of effort and the entire nature was rejuvenated and looking the then and especially the technology is that you can actually they had that bully the options. First they fly me the Russian then helicopter that then moved within that indigenous. But our bosses told that no, do only with the indigenous play. Then we put the whole effort back then on all the issues in that archaeology has solved. Polymer pipeline, that propulsion, propellant acquisition system, then the vacuum, that the east plane vacuum, and all of that. For each firm, there was a story behind that. Again, that tell you later that each of them is floating. And with all this, we went for this one, for the flight. Then what happened is that in the countdown period, when I'm filling up, two hours before the lower stage of purple field, and second stage is the full, the third stage primary stage purple affinity is going on. Then there's like a tap water in the falling. Finally, we understood that there is a purple and video image. It's like that video image is a propellant. We don't want any ignition system. You can spontaneously ignite it. In that temperature, in the order of disease, slightly more. But we are speechless. And then we told that you would leave that fascinate with water and drop the thing. That is I would say that it's a major that in something happened that the shark would not well then now destroyed. Then it would be safe the lake in there nicely. And then I have taken vision. Yes, sir. I want to end everything. But that is then the N40, solid water, second gen, air will be dictate, except the priorities. But that was happening in the others also. With it, we want to have launch in January. Very firefighting mode near the vehicle back. And actually, we expect then if the crash stage functioning for 1 second, that is sufficient. That's not what we want. Yes, the crash stage is so crucial, but the earlier flight we got only that 2 seconds or 0.3 second data. That we done at least 1 second is okay. At least 2 seconds is okay. And any you are out of 50 seconds also, let it go. Okay, that is ignite the side. But fortunately, after ignite, it is going, and it is cut out, and the injector starting with precise orbit. That was the best orbit that we got in that time. So that way, that GSLV, this is not there. Then after that, then we are working for a nice bike. That my chairman said, nothing doing. New take over this one there. The chief controller done. I told sir, I don't know anything about administration. I don't know anything about the accounts or purchase. I know. I decided. Okay, then I did that. I got into that one. And then one interesting thing is that even though I'm not, I be hesitating to take up. But once I'm entering, I will make it all and I made the whole system correct. That way the system was put it right. Then we had. Then we had that then, and then I was needed as the airplane PSC. Then the event that the entire APSC building where we constructed the new brickings, and the other that you contributed a major way for the gradients that you could see 25 indigenous very safely. Then that way I contributed. Then I was transferred to the SSC as the director. And becoming USS director principal is that people consider the prestigious work then. You ask anybody in the ISRO scientist, you work at it, I want to become chairman, so you have that. I want no directing USS. You are that is this was created by the Vikram Sarabhai. It's a mother sent them. And that was the biggest center. There are 6,000 people. Almost one third of the ISRO is sitting there only. And all the technology development. So I got the opportunity to get that an ESSC. And there also, lot of things are that. I have done one is that our ISRO that the lithium ion, that battery, that we have actually had a property that you developed, and we had transfer the technology to industry. Now that we are using that battery in our all the vehicles and everything. That is the one thing. Then there was a long time projects like a new summer launch vehicle project that we made it to flight, and the every proportion. There's some 35, 40, 30 years project that I made it to the flight. And the other major thing is like we talked about the 104 satellite. This happened because of new only. That is what happened was this is procured in other the satellite belongs to the US people. And they plan to do the 30 satellite. The main our satellite, then 30 that other small satellite. Every people okay, is the fancy guy. Then they asked why not make it that party therefore okay. Then they are able to check and this one that is that ensure that MP is the in separation like that. Then subsequently that they increase to that 50. Then also then beyond 50, then people are afraid. Then they cannot be done. Then they told that they wanted to have the 80 satellite. Otherwise, they wanted the done. Then our people told that I cannot do anything. Yeah, that I cannot be done. Then I called her. Well, then what do you want? Then they said, separation is not clear. Then that idea solution. You just about the radio. Every small, every time you are boarding, the boarding that like an infinite number of configuration. That way you can do it, and that way then they made it to 80. Then finally that there was a delay in their activities. The problem that in that satellite supply. Then as per the contractual thing that either we have to cancel or that what of money they are spending, given they will be lost like that. I said that no problem, they will accept their delay. But only one thing is that they have to give me another 20 satellites so that it will make 104. This then they agreed to give. Then our people are everybody was worried, and then that I was the only person that are confident. All the people are worried, and I said that no to put in the separation, and then everybody was appreciated. The whole world actually that we have some that technique, whatever we have. In fact, there is one of that conferences that I don't know the name of the well, actually you can understand that person came and asked me how you are done. I wanted to be actually our chairman was asked to put as IP on the vegan bell that they can put as this title. Then I told them I don't know anything to hide. There we did. Okay, how they also implemented. So that's that one. Another breakthrough what I had done. Where are the people afraid that nobody wanted to fly that our yeah they are down and confidence. And then everywhere when I was making that thing, I would do correction. Won't fly like that. That make necessary take the renew every day. But everything after 5:30, those are the arranged and the whole race used to be there. And it was up to 10 o'clock night. Is there. Then when had nobody being to touch it. It was that. Already nobody wanted to touch it in the airport. And where this lithium-ion battery, nobody wanted to touch it. Yeah. And this what was happened, everybody in our own ISRO was afraid. But I was telling that, whoa, the bold decision. Then another very interesting thing that people are marking nowadays, that in the PSLV, that is the PSLV can put the satellite in the multiple orbit. That after injecting the satellite one orbit, then reignite the PS4 once again and bring it there. I put that remaining satellite on orbit. This reach in satellite was there from the beginning. And everybody wanted to do it there. All the directors and all the chairman. And then we wanted to put this option. Then when they tell everything, when it is coming closer to the implementing, then okay, if we do next day, that and then this get. Then I told, I want to begin it. What is the problem? They don't then go and hit there. I don't know why you should be hit there. Then you want control. I always it in tumble. You know? I want it tumble. Then it tumble. Then only they did not go and sit there. This one. What are the people arguing as that as that thing is negative point? I was converted that into the positive point. I want vehicle to be tumble. Goodbye every night. Then a big biscuit mother, I told nothing. Do it. We see nothing will happen. So ignited, beautifully structured. Then I heard that the strategy, reintroduction of the BS4, that has happened. And of course, we had a lot of that this and but then issues related to the combat employees. They were trying to create trouble. And we wanted to change, the government wanted to change from that is on that. Otherwise, the ISRO was recruiting them as a contract. These are that later you keep it as the work package. Play that. That when you convert that is where it's a lot of but I was not bothering that. You don't be in the destroy VSSD, then they told that we make you naked and make it walk up to your mouth like that. Then I told them, the other thing. I was thinking about your statement. I was imagining how I would play that. I found that I would be better than the person that like that. And I used the different tactics. And they come up with the big the complaints that all the political parties are doing. And I used to ask them, see, that is now they're that we employ them with $100 per day as a certain rupees. Is that certain? You better give as a work package. What the work package is completing in the 15 days. And he will get the 700 rupees in 15 days. And he can take next work package in the next 15 days. So his total salary you will get is a double. Is it not okay? Then you won't pay by that. And very interesting because it is when I was in that like that many the wives saw that to 10 episode. But that one very nice thing was that is the chairman ISRO that Kiran Masa was agreeing whatever doing. That is like the different. They even GSLV marked with shape change from the always having some acoustic problem. The shape change here did. And then he had his final flight was on an flight in Bombay. We were aware that it is she was not open and it is got into the propped then. And what is it? It and my Bainas Mary. And I wanted that New Year's success when the chairman is. I entered in school. Sir, that today I arranged a meeting. We should sit like this. Don't tell anything here. I will conduct the meeting. And I told this fellow, is there to go, this is to do this. You accept first that side and bring it to the sentence of help. Use all the new strategies we have to data. And that was made very successful. And then when I became the Chairman ISRO, then I had the bigger responsibilities then. Different. That is now I was now my seat has become instead of the technical thing more managerial and leadership with level. So I had now get the work for our center. So first I got the 30 GSLV got approved and 5 GSLV got approved from the government and the 10 GSLV Mark 3 approved from the government and the Gagana approved. This is another major thing. And this particular project that it has been drive that long time, but could not succeed. But I could convince the government. Then everybody was asked me how you manage, and then I went with the technique. That is a intellectual property. Some technique I followed. That we thought of what this one. That's a major this one. And that another one was like that for executing the Gagania that we got the new center HSFC. That is another thing that I did. And another thing is that very bold decisions I have taken. That is many places that I am one person that if I wanted, I understand the people. If you wanted to achieve something, you wanted to swim in the sea, first you jumping. Then then think about coming how to come back. This one. Once you are jumping in, automatically that now you are afraid about your life. You know how to. You try all your technique to come out. That way I used to jumping. That is the initially that for the human space flight, the GSLV vehicle was identified. I said nothing believe that is not sufficient, and in future this the satellite that the module mass and everything going to increase. So we had to have the provision. So you please you change to GSLV Mark 3. And the boy everybody is afraid didn't do it there. Then then that's Andrea that do. Other than it was planned with the GSLV. And I said that with all the December constraints I got go with, I got free. And the GSLV Mark 3 is ready, you use it then. And people are surprised there. You done such a very the national important program. And this GSLV Mark 3 have already 2 development flight there. And it's not operationalized there. How can you use it? Don't worry to work on. You put it there. And with the Chandrayaan 2. And the one thing is that the Chandrayaan 2 that he narrowed the mistake in this thing. And I used to be the manual bold and not bothered. But on that day, what happened was that we could, there are 3 things happened. That is that the proposition was like the problem out of more. That discussion was not able to handle by the guidance. And that because of then back up that will be taken the control that also not met. It's like a series of. And what happened was that after everything was done that the brain disturb left. Then I know what made me that he is coming back. That though he had bounced him, but is a new information. I read that his plan was not there and way also had not been good. After that room, they told that he's coming. And he came and gave that talk. And then he was worrying that he was sitting by there. But then I told that I'm sorry with that, right? You drive on so much. Well, it's good and but I'm not able to meet your expectations as much that we're in the country. They are watching through the night. Then disappointment right decided I put it back. When I said that I thought emotional that he was that he put it up. That made me have a more strength. Then subsequently that immediately after that we have found that what we are at and what the corrective action taken. And then we corrected and made the Chandran 3. And at that time, I went and asked the Prime Minister, and he, when they told them, I will approve that in the proposal that we made it then. That is the, but with just the total work was over and close to the marks that may be in the island done. And another very interesting thing is the space sector reform. And you know that whole India, that for the last 60 years, the entire space activities in India is done by only ISRO. And this was some kind of the discussion that we had with the friends. That when we was feeling that we had to overcome that. Then I understood. I was thinking, and but yeah, well established CS system. How to put a new system? It's a very major thing. Then thought process that the thinking how to make it this one, and fortunately we had that when we had that lockdown period that movie during that time. Then every office they closed, but I used to come to office. 6 months I worked on that one and prepared the entire the space sector reform proposal. And that was then appreciated by on the people. And I followed up is essential. We are not just doing that. The type of programs are coming, civic meetings. And they go, then our Bharat station, Ravenia, then Sam permission, then now moon vision, the man on the moon and the very small the activity that a huge number of things that Israel alone cannot do it there. That's not possible. With 800, the 16,000 people, out of that 50% is appreciating in the 8,000 technical people, vary from the 25 years to 60 years then. This one, the 60th, you know, that after 50, 55, then the output will come to near zero. And then we will be counting their days. So, and the cows was it's better to open up the phone sector for the very user. And they made a system there. And it has a lot of petition and get from that our own people. Said nothing. You will know this one. And actually, that with the lot of first elements are was appreciating. But with that, we had that Vikram Sarabhai solution. That is the one thing. Now said next vision. So now the people now that because of there are now huge around 400 people that now the skyrocketing about the launch. And yes, in the lot of that satellite people they are doing. It's like fantastic. And I'm sure that whatever that the seed I have put in, and so that is going to you get a major impact on the Indian space economy. And I'm sure that I'm proud that this one. And if somebody is asking, what is your 1.2% you think for this year? And then this is the one. And yeah, these are the very strong vision. Everybody has criticized. I don't know, didn't you'll understand later. All this stuff. As a manager with the idea, then there the present space ecosystem privatization is big. On that is a 200 page cabinet model. If the cabinet how to be very what better to be. It's a 200 page then. I define everything. And so you see that I started somewhere as an ordinary engineer and took all the involved as a designer, as a project coordinator, project management, and handling all the types of the posts available in the ISRO, including the administrative posts, and raised to the chairman ISRO was a BOA, and yeah, at the end, I changed the vision of a new vision I given to that ISRO. That way I reviewed that I have done a job. And in this aspect, one point I wanted to that I had that last 4 years, my supervision basic. I had been very so full and friendly interaction with the Prime Minister's office. After that, the PM himself, the PM, then the NSA, Principal Secretary, EMO, the friendly discussion. And actually, I was worrying very much that I could walk through Delhi. That is the first side. Yes, that our Prime Minister was, God was in the Hindi. It's, I don't mind anything. I only can sign I know how to read it. I know how to write it. But I don't understand anything. I cannot feel anything. So, but at least that I heard that I was able to sign that, yes, I can in Hindi. And I was worried that how I'm going to this. But really, that it's a very great person. He that I understood about this very thing. Was speaking in English. Nowadays, I'm very cordial. And when the period unit, I see that the mission. Then always in his mind is full of the people of India and how to take it out. And then whenever we had discussion with I always did that because I had discussion with very high level technical actor who is already in position after 20 years. I used to feel when I was having discussion. That is a very fantastic experience. So with that experience, I am very happy that I am I laid on the office. How they one day really he had to give the rule to another person that they are given. And at the same time now that I have been involved in that major project like Bulgaria. Not only that review of the Bulgarian system that 1 year I did that. Then the Bharat University, the other station, qualification, and the previous chairman put a committee and with me as chairman, I been only defined the Bharat University station, that the qualification design. Now that I'm involved in that the Iranian review, but the English out versus worldwide. Now that simulation started going on, I'm sure that it is ISO. ISO is coming for the Iranian bites. And so there is a lot of viewing activities that in the modern session, then the cyber prevention more, and send this woman more, and can be brought to VNS with a lot of huge high-end listening then. And I'm full of the so now at present, the language instead of high end to get the vision. The only ways that we have to bring in within the private industry is available and academia and startups. And I found that the present-based systems are very powerful. Than I used to find that I am very powerful. That now today I finished that with a bit today. I am happy that other youngsters are 100 times more powerful than that. You the phone the whole thing is the main that if you are putting the phone the youngsters in the right direction. I'm sure that India really development. My way to some sponsor even before that. And the recently I went to one now that association week. It is like about the first listen the wifey. They given an award for the legend standard and the plus to seven the people. But I thought that it was something. But yes, my son is there. I thought I had an opportunity to meet him. That way I went there. When I could see that there were 500, 600 people were there. Then I asked for one person, can any or not we? I did deny that all 500 people, that including me, I don't know one, that in our house, they don't have any product there. We don't have any product with the Chinese. Everybody's having the market then. In one form or another, we are having Chinese product. This has to change with every Chinese should have Indian product in their house. That should be done. And I'm sure the youngsters can do a lot of work. And what I could say that is for growing the space ecosystem and to take that India to raise the India globally the space ecosystem that they are like about the station and move that all those things. And youngsters are here have a major role. How I would say that I would say that ISRO, that I would say that ISRO are only 8,000 people, whereas country has 140 crore people. They can contribute, and the Indian country can contribute, and they can make India with the highest level, and there is not far. I'm sure that. And I am waiting for that one. If there be a chance, need to go down moon. I'm very tired. And that's I want to tell you. Thank you for this opportunity. And once again, I'm waiting for all the people. I think the youngsters have a lot of responsibility to take the India forward. And I'm sure that they will do it. And another opportunity that I can invest a lot more personally in this one, but rather than experience like I'm that and later, run forward. Okay, thank you.